of Uniontown, Friday, November 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. Bring the whole family to enjoy delicious treats from food vendors, take in great holiday music all evening long, and of course, visit with Santa. And do not miss the holiday parade starting at 6. We'll also have a live broadcast here on WMBS from 5 to 7 o'clock and parade commentary on our WMBS Facebook page. Our live broadcast is sponsored by Mayor Bill Gerke and Magisterial District Judge Jason Cox, with support from Neubauer's Flowers and Market House, the Nemacolin Resort, the Herald Standard, Faith Assembly of God, First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, A1 Porta-Johns, Board of Uniontown, Higginbotham Law Offices, Patax, DeMarco, The Polished Place, Landsea Academy of Dance, and Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network. Christmas in the Square, Friday, November 28th from 5 to 8 p.m. Don't miss it. There's no place like home, and no thing like winning. Now, till the end of November, just be the 6th caller to 724-438-4593 when you hear.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday.
And you'll win $30 worth of Snow Place Like Home scratch-off tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery, with festive fun and 10 top prizes of $20,000. Play today and let it snow winnings. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Franco's Golf Center is open during the winter months, Tuesday through Sunday, starting at 11 a.m., closed Monday. With 2 state-of-the-art simulators, Franco's is your destination for indoor golf. The Full Line Pro Shop is also open for your shopping convenience, with gift certificates available. The outdoor range is also open year-round, weather permitting. Call 724-438-6651 to reserve your indoor golf tee times. Franco's is located on Route 21 west of Uniontown. Stop and see them today.
If you're ready for a dental makeover or in need of basic dental care, the office of Dr. Mark Rabatin is right for you. Dr. Rabatin uses the latest advancement in the industry to achieve comprehensive care that will preserve your smile for years to come by providing general dentistry services. Call today to schedule your appointment at their modern office, located in the Fayette Business Park, 724-437-4991, for the fine art of dentistry.
Your local station, 590 WMBS.
I hear voices in my head.
Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm your host, the voice of reason, Dave Dunaway. It's Thursday, November 20th, 2025, and you're listening to The Sports Voice. Well, everyone is happy again because the Pittsburgh Steelers defeated maybe the worst defense in the history of football. Even going into like Pee Wee League and high school and college, I've never seen a performance worse than what I saw this past Sunday from Cincinnati. They have one NFL player, he didn't play, and now all of a sudden it's Super Bowl time. But a lot happened in that game, starting with the injury sustained by quarterback Aaron Rodgers. What it exactly is, I'm not sure. I heard people saying broken wrist. We'll find out, I guess, because guaranteed he's going to play on Sunday. He practiced today. There's your update for the injury report. And according to him, for safety reasons, he wants to play. That makes no sense, but that's Aaron Rodgers for you, because his ego is so big, he can never stay out of the spotlight. Could you imagine if Mason Rudolph played and beat the Chicago Bears? Oh, that is not what Aaron Rodgers wants. He will get out there regardless of the injury sustained. As long as he can move barely, just like normal, he will be out there ready to suit up and play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this is not going to be an easy game this Sunday. I think we all pretty much agreed that the Steelers were going to beat Cincinnati. The Chicago Bears are 7-3, maybe a little bit ahead of where everyone projected them to be at this point. They do have an explosive offense. They rely very heavily on their defense. Their defense is better than Pittsburgh's defense. It's younger, it's faster. They force a lot of turnovers. this is going to be a matchup that is anything less than ideal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, they're not similar teams. That's what I've heard all week. Oh, it's like a mirror image. Oh, really? Who's the Steelers' answer to Rome Odunze as a number 2 receiver? Calvin Austin, Ben Skoranek? Like, who actually gets that role? They have 2 tight ends in Chicago that actually contribute. The Steelers have one that they barely throw to, Darnell Washington, who might be the best tight end in all of football. At least he's definitely the biggest and the one that knocks people out if you try to tackle him. And when you look at the running game, at least the Chicago Bears commit to it. The Steelers can't figure out which running back they want to use half the time, and a lot of times just don't commit to doing anything except running up the middle when you're just trying to get a couple of yards because you're killing clock. Mason Rudolph, he looked adequate in relief. Aaron Rodgers looked okay before he got hurt, but don't misread what you saw on Sunday. Cincinnati is atrocious. Not only are they 3-7, one of those wins was against the Steelers. Don't forget that. They have a backup quarterback who's been in for the bulk of the year. They just are not a team that you can look at and say, oh, the Steelers have turned the corner. They're back on pace. Beat the Bears. Maybe I'll have something different to say next week. Beat Buffalo in a couple of weeks or Baltimore in 3 weeks. Then maybe I'll definitely change my tune. But up till now, I've not been impressed with anything. The Colts haven't impressed me all year. Neither has Minnesota. So wins against them, that's nothing for me to get excited about. New England handed them the game. New England should have 10 wins right now. And Ramondre Stevenson's coming back this week. I'm as nervous as can be. They're actually going to put him in there, especially after the huge performance last week by Travion Henderson. I mean, you look at Pittsburgh and you see mediocre, regardless of what you want to say or how much you want to try to inflate it or what you're going to talk about with the defense. You talked about the defense with the Colts, and then they laid an absolute major egg the very next week. I mean, that's what you're looking at with the Pittsburgh Steelers. This isn't a team that's going to be consistent. This isn't a team that's going anywhere. This is a team that, if they're lucky, sneaks into the playoffs and gets blown out by potentially Buffalo in week 1, because New England very easily could win that division by the time it's all said and done. So, take a look ahead, see what you want to see, I guess, but we'll talk a little more realistically, at least here on the Sports Voice, when we approach this week, by the way, in Chicago against the Chicago Bears. Pittsburgh Pirates made the news this week. They almost signed somebody. How about that? This tells you how bad your franchise is. They make the largest offer in the history of that team, and the guy says no. That's all you need to know about the Pirates. Yes, Josh Naylor supposedly was offered an $80 million contract by Pittsburgh and turned it down because Seattle offered more. Did the Pirates know Seattle was going to offer more? Did the Pirates say, okay, well, hey, they offered you this, we'll give you this? Did it turn into a bidding war? No. But all I've heard, they can't sign Josh Naylor, but within a couple weeks, Kyle Schwarber is going to be wearing black and gold. Can't wait. Cannot wait to see that one. Can't wait to see how they spin that one when he signs elsewhere, probably back in Philadelphia again before it's all said and done. And I'm still waiting for Bo Bichette and Pete Alonso and all the other big-name free agents that I'm sure are just licking their chops to come and play for the Pittsburgh Pirates, a storied franchise, especially over the last 3 decades. Well, really 5 decades, I guess, but at least there was a little burst there in the early 90s that got some hopes up for a few people. We've got MVPs. That was announced last Thursday. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani. I wasn't surprised. Those were my predictions for that one anyways. And, in the end, it almost has to be for Major League Baseball. You get a Yankee, you get a Dodger, put them in there because, like we said a couple of years ago, that's who everybody knows anyways. A lot of decisions coming for MLB. We'll talk about a lot of the roster moves made by the Pittsburgh Pirates this week. They had to get people protected on the 40-man. I don't know how they're going to deal with the guys that they had to designate for assignment. I'll bet a few of them end up back in Indy because I can't imagine a whole lot of teams clamoring for them. But we'll talk a little baseball this week. The winter meeting's just around the corner, so this is the time, because then you've got like 3 months straight where every other team signs free agents and the Pirates sit on their hands, and then you wait till March or whenever people are left over and going to come on the cheap, and then they get real excited and tell you how they actually did go out and sign free agents. The Pittsburgh Penguins, pretty decent series, I thought, in Sweden. A good way to showcase themselves and head coach Dan Muse and the changes that he's brought to this team. They're definitely more unified. They're definitely playing a system that it looks like they could at some point master. A lot of players, I think, playing a lot better than what we've seen in recent time. They got a lot of time off. They don't play again until tomorrow. They've got back-to-back home games. Well, actually, they have 3, but back-to-back Friday, Saturday, Minnesota and Seattle. I think 2 really good opportunities to get wins. So we'll see if the rest worked for them, get over the jet lag and everything coming back from Sweden. But I thought, to be on the spotlight internationally, I think the Penguins performed well, and that's what we were hoping for. I guess the game really didn't matter all that much to head coach Pat Narduzzi. I mean, that's what he said last week. Who cares? We're worried about Georgia Tech and Miami. Well, I can't wait to see how they fare against Georgia Tech this week. Looked like they didn't even show up against Notre Dame. That high-profile offense that we heard about with their freshman quarterback, he looked lost and confused, and the offense couldn't move the ball at all. So good thing Narduzzi started the excuses last Tuesday, because it definitely set up for the horrendous performance that Pitt put out there this past Saturday. So for everyone hoping this might be the local team that shines this year, don't forget, Pitt lost to West Virginia earlier this year. Penn State finally got a win. It had been 2 months. They beat equally as bad, 3-5, now 3-6, or maybe 3-7. I'm not sure what they are. Michigan State. They finish up the season against 7-3 Nebraska this week. Matt Rule, I don't think he's rumored to be coming to Penn State anymore. Some intriguing names that are out there, including Brian Hartline, the man I said from day one, the very next show after the firing of Franklin when no one was talking about him. That's my guy, because he's coming from Ohio State, hopefully with some skill players in tow, and Penn State can certainly use that. But that's a story for another day. We're getting toward the end of the college football season. From this point on, we go to championship games and Army, Navy, and whatever else is left. Not all that much left on the docket. The PGA event of the week is in Georgia. Not going to say much about it beyond today because 3 guys shot 10 under today. That's 60. So always a good sign when you've got 3 guys at 10 under and 2 guys at 9 under after the first day. Yep, 360s and 261s. Love the show and performance that the PGA puts out there. Not that LIV does a whole lot of a better job, but that's what's going on there. And of course, any other big news and stories that we get to, we'll make sure we cover that as well. Maybe we'll even have time this week for Nick to do his NBA roundup. We can hear what LeBron, Bronny, and any other name you might recognize are doing right now in the NBA, which is in its regular season, if you've not been paying attention. Our picks of the week, these things just get more and more dreadful each week. Actually, Nick had a pretty good week this week. I will say that. He was tied for the top. I was not tied for anything close to the top. But the standings starting to tighten up a little bit. Our resident attorney, Josh Kryzik Esquire, went 2-13 this week.
Oh my God!
So yeah,
what?
Now we're getting closer. It's like 6 games between Josh, myself, and Matt. Matt's caught me after a pretty good week, but even everybody else isn't too far back. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen next week and how everything's going to work itself out. Obviously, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, so I will not be doing a show on Thanksgiving, but I'll tell you a little bit later when I'll be on the air, when the picks are going to be done. Everything will still be happening, just going to be a little bit different for you. So I'll get to that information later in the show. Going to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers game this past weekend against Cincinnati. I don't know if historically bad does enough justice for how horrendous Cincinnati's defense is, but I think there are college teams, possibly even some high school teams. Aliquippa probably could have taken the field and beaten Cincinnati.
Terry Smith's favorite town.
Yes.
You heard that controversy?
I did hear that. He did coach at Gateway for numerous years, did he not?
He did.
So, when you you look at the game and you start to break it down, and I know people are excited because, hey, a win is a win, and it was a definitive win. It's not like it was close at any point. There was never a time. Although, I guess if you go to halftime in the third quarter, it was close enough that people could probably say, oh, maybe the Bengals will get a win here, but there was never a time I thought they were going to get a win. 34-12 ends up being the final of this thing, and I don't think it was ever in doubt, nor should it have been, nor should they have lost the first time to Cincinnati with Joe Flacco at quarterback. It's not like Burrow played the first time these teams met. It's a totally different team, and Flacco was a totally different quarterback. They didn't really try to throw the ball as much as we thought they were going to, at least not with passes to guys like Chase and Higgins. They did hit Higgins open a couple of times, but under 200 yards passing, that I think is a victory in itself for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Under 100 rushing for Chase Brown. I mean, 99 is still 20-some more than what he normally gets, but a lot less than what he got the first time around. So you start to break it down. Rudolph came in, looked okay. Warren, well, they need to figure out what they want to do there. A couple of touchdowns for Kenneth Gainwell. I mean, Nick Herbig looked all right, had a sack in the game. So you start going through, look at the secondary. Kyle Duggar, that's the big name of the week. Just give it time. Let him play a good team and see how Kyle Duggar does.
I have to say, in that moment, Dave, as he's running that interception back, I thought of you.
Yeah, I was very angry.
Him,
yeah, well,
then he won the game for the Steelers.
The people I was watching the game with all turned and laughed at me too, and I made some comment about, boy, how nice would it have been to see that happen in New England, and they showed the stat. Apparently it happened twice. That's how forgettable Kyle Duggar is to me. I didn't even know he did it before.
He's had 3 pick sixes. Some guys don't have any.
Yes.
So good for him.
Yes, and about 3,000 times he gets burned down the field.
Well, there's that.
Look at where but look at what they're doing with him. He's basically Troy Polamalu.
Yes.
He's not covering anybody. New England actually tried to get him to cover somebody.
Right.
Because he played corner for a while there, and it was horrible. That's why they moved him to safety. He couldn't cover. He can't cover a slot receiver or a tight end at safety. So what the Steelers did, they just loaded up the secondary, and they put him out there, kind of like Minkah Fitzpatrick, except he was about 500 yards closer, and they had him out there patrolling the field a little bit. Now, that he can do, but honestly, if you come to the NFL and you play secondary, can't anybody do that job?
Yeah.
I mean, basically, you do whatever you want. You just hang around and look for the ball and then move into position to see if you can intercept it. When you have to cover somebody one-on-one, forget it. You got to stay with them. And as we've seen, the struggles of the Pittsburgh defense, most everybody they put out there struggles covering one-on-one. But hey, don't worry, Nick, because it's already been announced Darius Slay is going to play this week.
Yep.
So he'll be out there covering Moore, Odunze, somebody one-on-one. Can't wait to see how that works. And people are already complaining because they're talking about James Pierre, a guy who was waived and claimed by no one. James Pierre now is going to get benched for Darius Slay. Have we forgotten how bad James Pierre is? Like, there's no upgrade there. I don't even know if it is an upgrade. Slay might actually be an upgrade, and Slay was horrific through the time that he was out there. So in the end, you're going to see some changes. Rodgers is going to try to play through this injury. Is it a broken wrist? Have we had that confirmed? What actually happened to him?
Hand, yeah.
So he's going to be out there all casted up. I mean, in the end, are the Steelers making a mistake? Should they just stay with Rudolph? Should they just stay with Pierre? Should Herbig play instead of Highsmith? Like, when you start looking at this team, you get to a point where 10 games in, right now they're leading the division. They're a projected playoff team. When does the time come where, as the head coach, you just sit back and say, I think I'm going to play the better guys. I'm going to play the guys that give me the best chance to win. When do you stop saying, well, he's a veteran and he's a veteran? And I know they pursued Rodgers all summer, so I could see why they feel some loyalty to him. But when do you actually take a step back and say, we want to go to the playoffs this year and we want to win when we actually get there? Why don't we just play the guys that are playing the best right now instead of me having to put all my buddies in there and then watch it implode when you play a younger, faster Chicago Bears team?
Well, Dave, you mentioned the Steelers are a playoff team right now. Isn't that amazing? They're a playoff team right now, and the Chiefs aren't, and they have a better record than the Chiefs. What a world. But that is a very good 5-5 Kansas City team that would beat the Steelers if they played, but they don't have to, at least until the playoffs. But, looking at the Steelers, you're right. Now, Aaron Rodgers, he obviously wants to go out there for two reasons. He loves to beat up on the Bears, and he has for 20 years
He's
now.
owned them.
And
yes.
he's not, there's no need to save himself for anything because he may not even play next year. This may be the end of the line. He's 40 years old, 41, so he's not saving himself for the future. There's no future for him. But from the Steelers' perspective, does he give them a better chance to win than Mason Rudolph? I think he does. Is Rudolph younger? Does he know the offense because he's been around more? Sure. But Rodgers, I think, on any given Sunday, even at 41, gives you a better shot than Rudolph, who did play well in the second half of that Cincinnati game. And you're right, that's a putrid defense that any quarterback could light up. But with the rest of the guys that you mentioned, you should go with the guys to give you the best chance to win each game, not your buddies, not the veterans. You're right. So eventually the Steelers will figure that out. They do focus on winning every game, sometimes to their detriment. They never look past the next game. So they obviously want to win this game, but from the most important position, the quarterback position, heck, if he wants to go out there, let Rodgers suit up. He wants to beat the Bears one more time, Dave.
The only concern I have is the Bears actually have a pretty decent pass rush.
They're good, yeah.
And I know you asked, well, what is Rodgers saving himself for?
Nothing.
The playoffs? I mean, is that the guy you want if you actually make the playoffs, or do you want to?
You're right.
You want him to go down and then Rudolph's
I was
in
thinking
there?
even more macro than this year, and I was thinking about him more than the Steelers for some reason. You're right. You want him to play in the playoffs, but we know whoever the Steelers quarterback is, Dave, they're not going to win that playoff game.
True.
See, it's already built into my head. They're going to lose to Buffalo or Kansas City or Baltimore in January. So it's already built in. They're not winning that game. Getting there is the goal for the Steelers now. That's it.
So you agree with Rodgers playing?
Why not? It's non-throwing hand. I would. Yes, on any given Sunday, even at 41, Rodgers gives you the best chance to win. But it is a road game against an NFC team, as someone pointed out. So it's not the end of the world if you lose. They're underdogs. But you do want to win this game because you're not going to beat Buffalo the next week. So that's a 2-game
Or
losing
Baltimore
streak
the week
going in.
after.
Yeah, so you want to win this game. You want to get to 7-4 because it's better than 6 and whatever. If you win Sunday, you're not going to have a long losing streak, and I think you will because you're not beating Buffalo, and I don't think you're beating Baltimore.
And Rodgers has owned the Bears in his career. It was like 24-5 or something against them. And he played in their division for the bulk of it when he played for Green Bay. So, yes, he loves to play in Chicago. He loves to beat up on the Bears. Normally, that's what happens when he's the quarterback on the other side. So it does make sense from that standpoint. You wonder, though, like, what percent do you have this guy? Is he like 70%? And Rudolph's ready. So, I mean, if he does get hurt, Rudolph will be able to come in. But do you risk, I guess, is the point I was making, injuring him for the rest of the season? Because one shot, and he can't move, and at least Rudolph can, one shot could knock him out. So now we put a ton of faith in the line, all 8 of them, to actually protect him from the Bears pass rush.
7-4 is better than 6-5 is what I was trying to get out.
No, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, but you want to win this game because you have non-winnable games coming up, and you're right. I'm amazed he stayed healthy this long. He made it through the first 2 months, and credit to the not very good O-line. I think it might have been potluck. But you're right. I would start him, and if he gets even more hurt, then again, I don't think you're winning those games against Buffalo or Baltimore with any guy under center. So I'd start him. It makes them happy, and that's what the Steelers want to do. They want to make their buddies happy. They don't want to necessarily win games, Dave. You know how it is down there.
Right. Well, apparently Jaylen Warren isn't one of their buddies because I mean I don't understand this at all. So he's rushing on Sunday 6.2 yards a carry, and he only gets 10 carries.
Right.
Kenneth Gainwell, the backup at 2.7, gets 9 carries.
Yes.
And then Caleb Johnson gets into the game.
Yeah, what
even
was that
worse. He gets 5 carries. Like,
that was a
what
bad
is
pick.
that? Like, I get it. If you don't have elite running backs, you want to go to like a running back by committee thing. A lot of teams do that around the league, but Warren is head and shoulders above the rest of them. Like,
He is.
if you've got a guy busting it for 6.2 yards a carry, why wouldn't you stick with that until they stop it? Then maybe put Gainwell in as part of a rotation and see what happens. But they don't even do that. There is no rotation here. He legitimately could be the number 1 weapon on offense that this team has. Actually, maybe number 2. Washington might be number 1 based on what we saw on Sunday. But in the end, that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. This is the hot hand, regardless of what you want to call it. Give him the ball. If you want to run the ball, you got a guy going, it's over 6 yards a carry. That's the guy that should be running the ball. It should not be a committee. It should not be a timeshare. It should be one guy if they can handle it doing this, and this is a few weeks in a row that Warren has head and shoulders been better than everybody else, but yet got less snaps and not the bulk of the carries. I mean, Gainwell had 7 catches for 81 yards, which is fine. You want to bring him in third down and let him do that, or else bring Warren in third down then, if that's the case. Like, whatever it is you want to do. But Gainwell had 2 touchdowns, and I get why they like him and what he brings to the table, but that's something that can be done. 7 catches for 81 yards on third down. That doesn't need to happen on first and second down as well. Leave the better guy in there and then change it up and utilize what Gainwell brings to the table on third down. Darnell Washington, I think, became the star of the Steelers on Sunday. A lot of people were thrilled with him just knocking people around. We'll see if he does that to the Chicago Bears, but just a huge target. And then you ask yourself, why are they using him as a lineman? Why isn't he out there playing tight end more often?
Yes, and you could just tell he's a Steeler. The way he plays, you knew the fan base would love him. His name, the Mount Washington, I mean, everything about him is great. He's the biggest, I don't know if he's the best or most skilled tight end, but the biggest, and you're right, the most fun to watch maybe, knock guys out. And he did, and he took advantage of that bad Cincinnati defense. But yeah, he should be used more as a tight end. If you're not going to utilize Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, that's been a bad acquisition. He's not been good. Nobody on this offense has really been great, except for Aaron Rodgers. He's been their MVP on that side of the ball. But yeah, I mean, Jaylen Warren, going back to him, he's your best running back. He's not a star by any means, but now he's hurt, so we'll see how that is. None of their skill guys are impressive. DK Metcalf's been bad. So you said they don't have a number 2 receiver. Do they have a number 1?
Well, that's it. I mean, you're playing Cincinnati with this terrible defense, and Metcalf has 5 catches for 49 yards.
Right.
Like, that's not going to cut it. No touchdowns, no anything of any importance, drops. Freiermuth had 1 catch for 19. Jonnu Smith had no catches.
Awful.
I mean, this is what you bring to the table on offense, and you wonder why you're 6-4 and not better. And really, they should be better at this point, but they're not, because they don't care, or at least make it look like they care. Tomlin wants to run this offense like it's 30 years ago, and you could put 7 guys on the line and run behind them and actually win games, but you'll beat a team like Cincinnati because they can't stop. They could have tried to throw the ball over the place. Cincinnati wouldn't have stopped that either. They can't stop anything with that defense, but you try to do this against Chicago, Buffalo, Baltimore, you're finished.
Dave, 6-4 is a winning record. That's above the mean. Okay, some teams would kill to be 6-4 entering the week before Thanksgiving. The Steelers, that's their standard.
Well, I'm sure
now.
Kansas City would. And could you imagine Kansas City at 6-4 instead of 5-5?
Absolutely.
I mean, but they've got the power to do that. They've got the potency.
Denver's
Pittsburgh
up 4. No, they don't. Denver's up 4 games in that division with the game on Kansas City. Amazing, and they might lose to Indy this week. I mean,
do you think if they told the people in Kansas City, "Hey, we'll trade you the records, but you also have to trade us players, so you get Rodgers and Metcalf and those guys"?
Yeah, we'll give you Mahomes and Kelsey and Rice, and
then see how excited they'd be about being 6-4. They would basically tell you, we'd rather be 5-5.
Exactly, yeah. But everything evens out. And again, no matter what's going on, though, around the league, when you get to January, you're not confident the Steelers are equipped to beat a Kansas City, a Buffalo, a Baltimore. I mean, who in that AFC playoff picture? I don't know, maybe the Colts because they've already beat them.
Yeah, but that's sort of an albatross too because they've already beaten them once, and you know the next time in the playoffs they're going to run Taylor.
Maybe Houston.
They chose not to. Pittsburgh didn't stop them running Taylor.
No,
they chose not to run Taylor.
If a Houston or a Jacksonville sneaks in, I think the Steelers can beat Davis Mills, but they've lost to quarterbacks just as bad as Davis Mills in the playoffs, i.e., Blake Bortles and Tim Tebow. And you say, well, the players are different, but the head coach and the scheme's the same. So.
And when you look at this game Sunday and you say, well, the Steelers scored 34 points. Yeah, the defense scored 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Don't forget that. Right. It's not like the offense went out there and lit it up because that certainly didn't happen.
No.
You had Pierre run one back. You had Duggar run one back. I mean, that's where you got most of it, and there was pressure. And, I mean, the line of Cincinnati isn't much better than their defense, and you've got a 40-year-old quarterback who's immobile back there at the helm. So, yeah, Patrick Queen's going to get 10 tackles in a game like that. Let's see how many tackles he gets in the Buffalo game. Let's see how many tackles he gets in the Chicago game this week. And Eccles looked good, and we got the debate, Pierre and Slay. Where do you stand with that? Do you think, are you going to overrate Pierre? Or
no.
I mean, they're both bad. Does it matter?
Mediocre. It doesn't really matter. No, Tomlin will go with his buddy or the hot hand, whatever he wants to term it. No, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we're not dealing with all-stars here or Pro Bowlers.
No, and Hayward had 5 tackles.
He
I'm trying
did.
to find Watt. Is Watt even on the stat sheet anywhere? Did he do anything? Did he play? Did Watt play this week?
Watch Myles Garrett against Lamar Jackson, and then watch Watt against that awful Bengals team. And, if Garrett was out there, he would have brought down 40-year-old Joe Flacco a lot more than Watt did. Watt had, 1 sack in
One
garbage
tackle.
time? 1 tackle.
1 tackle.
Awful. He's
One
overpaid.
tackle.
Why
They didn't
did
give him credit
all
for a
that
sack.
money?
He had 1 tackle. I had to go all the way down the list to find it.
Money not well spent, but he's a fan favorite, and that's all that matters.
A lot of bad money spent here. All right, let's talk about it because I saw a video, so I did see what we didn't necessarily see on Sunday. But yet again, a loose cannon, a hothead. Jalen Ramsey's been that his entire career.
Spitgate.
Yes, well, he did spit on it.
Yes,
like
Jamar
when I
Chase
saw
is
the
a pig.
replay, Chase did spit on
Chase
him.
is a pig, yes.
Yes, but so is Ramsey.
Sure.
That's I think that's where we lose sight of it. Was Ramsey at fault? Kind of. I mean, he didn't start it.
No.
But that doesn't mean that at some point you realize you're a professional, you control yourself, and you think about the team first.
Right.
The game was still kind of up for grabs at that point, and you allow yourself, again, to lose your cool and get ejected from a game because you're out there throwing punches. I get it. Chase spit on you. Chase should have gotten ejected as well. He probably should have got the only penalty. If you'd have stood there and done nothing, then maybe that would have been the case. But you're out there throwing punches in the middle of an NFL football game. When do the Steelers... I mean, it seems like every guy they bring in, they got to move on from for some reason because there's no control anywhere. I didn't see any veterans stepping up to stop that from happening. Were they even on the field, or was that their play where they got to sit down on the sidelines and take a rest? Was Hayward out there drinking water and Watt on the oxygen machine? I mean, what was going on at that time that nobody was out there to corral Ramsey and stop him from doing that? Like, I'm just sick of watching it. Like, to me, this team is very unlikable. I'm trying to go down the list of players and find people that I actually like. Like, people get on my case all the time because I don't root for the team closest to my house. But there's nobody on here I can associate with that I actually want to root for, especially on this defense. Maybe somewhere on offense I can find a guy here or there. Yeah. I don't mind Warren. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. Everybody knows
Washington.
that. I can't stand Metcalf. I like Washington.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
There's a couple guys. That Fryer Moose, a Penn State guy, I guess. So is Porter, but Porter's an okay person. He's not a number one corner. I don't know. Like, to me, they're just super unlikable. Starting at the top with the clown owner, down to the puppet GM, down to the head coach that has no control. That's their buddy right there, and the entire buddy system that exists within the coaching staff. To me, I'm just annoyed. When you ask me why I root for New England, I don't know, because they look a little bit more classy than this. I can't stand to even watch it because something is just going to degrade itself before the game is over. But yeah, there you go. So we've got all this money tied up in guys that take 2 out of every 4 plays off. We've got people throwing punches on the field. You've got an offense that can't generate anything. You got game calls that look like it's the 1950s. I mean, that's what we have on this team. But hey, I'm supposed to sit here and root for it because I live in Western Pennsylvania. No thanks.
Then again, 6-4, and into the playoff position right now. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of flaws there, and Ramsey should have restrained himself. Yes, when someone spits on you, it's abhorrent, and Chase should be ejected, or should have been, and will be suspended next week.
Should be.
Boy, he has been suspended for this week.
Oh, did they do it
yes,
already? Okay.
The NFL has, but you have to realize in that moment, as hard as it is to restrain yourself, you're on a team and you want to win a game against a division opponent. A game you have to win because you just can't lose to the Bengals twice in 1 year, and they didn't. Give them credit. They did win by 22 against an awful team that they should have beat last month as well. But yeah, I mean, not a lot to like there. You're right, because there does seem to be a lack of control and a lack of I don't know what the word is. You're right. There is a lot of shenanigans.
At least pretend like you're professional when you're on the field.
There are a lot of shenanigans on the South Side with the Steelers that people just put up with. You're right, because they like them. They root for them, so they'll overlook it. That's what fans do, I guess.
I don't know. In the end, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a W's a W. They're 6-4. It was definitive, 34-12 over the Cincinnati Bengals. Red hot at 3-7. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll look at the injury report. It was released about an hour ago from today, so I'll let you know what's going on there. And we will preview the 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers in Chicago against the 7-3 Bears. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Go to 40 Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning 40 Uniontown. Dom, I have exciting news to share. Santa showed up early with a heap of holiday savings. Black Friday sale all month long.
Check out this offer. How about 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models? Save up to $7,000 off and you get these great rates as well. How about 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84? Or get this, you can take advantage of 0% financing for 5 years.
Dang, Dom. Any other holiday cheer you want to throw around?
Well, John, old St. Nick said, let's move some Explorers as well. Save up to $3,000 off 2025 Explorer, and these rates will make the Tom the Turkey blush. 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and that's right, 4.9 for 84 months.
Dom, pre-owned? We got them. Over 70 online, and most are certified with factory warranty. Your sleigh knows, shouldn't you? That's 40 Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or 40uniontown.com. Offer includes all factory incentives, must finance support letter credit, not all buyers will qualify. Deadline December 1st.
Point Hill Living Care Home is an all-new personal care home conveniently located in Point Marion and is now accepting new residents. Point Hill Living is committed to providing comfort and support while allowing residents to maintain their independence and enhance their quality of life. With a dedicated staff and experienced advanced care team, Point Hill Living offers fully customized care plans for all residents, while also ensuring a sense of community and engagement, making Point Hill feel like home. Multiple care levels are available, from basic plans to fully customized and enhanced plans, including options for medical monitoring and full-time dedicated assistance. If you are looking for a high-quality care home close to home, look no further than Point Hill Living Care Home at 300 Union Street in Point Marion. Call them today at 724-725-5533 to learn more, or visit them at pointhillliving.com. Point Hill Living Care Home, where our residents are family.
Zen's Antiques and Home Decor, part of the Cinder Shack family of vendors, where you can find both antique and new furniture, collectibles, housewares, gift items, including jewelry and candles, and so much more. Follow Zen's Antiques and Home Decor on Facebook for new items and information on upcoming events. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor in Building 2 at 3391 National Pike in Farmington. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor.
I've been thinking about switching primary care providers. It takes forever to get an appointment, and when I finally get in, the staff acts like they don't even care that I'm there.
That's so frustrating. You deserve a provider who listens, values your time, and truly cares about your health.
That's exactly what I need. Someone who sees me as a person, not just another name on a chart.
Then you should check out Montgomery Medical. They treat you like family, offer personalized care, and even have same-day appointments.
At Montgomery Medical, your health is our priority. Call 724-569-8100 Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles, and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
WNBS.
Welcome back to the Sports Voice. We've been talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers 34-12 win over Cincinnati last Sunday. It's time now to look ahead to Week 11 as the Week 12, I guess, as the Pittsburgh Steelers get ready to match up with the Chicago Bears. Couple of things to just mention before we get into making picks and even looking at the injury report. The Chicago Bears are a little bit ahead of schedule. The turnaround was expected. Ben Johnson, the former offensive coordinator of Detroit, hired as the head coach this year, primarily to mentor former first overall pick Caleb Williams, the starting quarterback. Williams has looked better. I'm not saying he looks great. He's no Drake May, but he's looking better this year in the Ben Johnson offense. They've got weapons all over the field. At running back, they've got DeAndre Swift, and they've got this other kid, this Monon guy or whatever. So they do have that two-headed monster at running back. At receiver, they have DJ Moore, they have Roma Dunze, and they have rookie speedster Luther Burden. You start thinking about how fast these guys are, and all three of them can fly. These are not ideal targets for the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary to be able to match up against. And if you say, well, we'll get some help, throw a safety over here or over there to match up with one of these guys, don't forget across the middle, you've got two huge tight end targets in first-round pick from this year, Colston Loveland, and Cole Kmet, former Notre Dame tight end. So the Chicago Bears offensively have weapons everywhere. They have weapons on defense as well. Really good pass rush, really good secondary as well for Chicago. So you start looking at the matchup, it to me doesn't seem very favorable for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, a lot of people have given the Steelers the edge in this game because of the youth on the Chicago team, especially at quarterback. And a lot of times the Steelers can take advantage of a young quarterback, potentially force turnovers, see what happened with New England. But I don't really think it was May. I think it was more Stevenson and Gibson fumbling the ball away that led to that win over New England. I can't see Chicago repeating something similar in this particular case. The injury report was released about an hour ago. As far as the Pittsburgh Steelers, here's what we're looking at. Aaron Rodgers did practice today, so if you were wondering the possibility of him playing this Sunday, it looks like it's going to happen. So for everyone that was hoping for Mason Rudolph, doesn't look like, at least not out of the gate, it looks like Aaron Rodgers with the left wrist injury, the broken bone, he is going to play this Sunday against Chicago. Nick and I talked during the first segment about how throughout his career he has owned the Chicago Bears, especially in Chicago. So we know Rodgers wants to play. Plus his ego doesn't allow him to be hurt and to sit on the sidelines. He's going to do whatever he can to get into this game. Darius Slay at corner, who we've not seen for a while because of a concussion. He was a full participant at practice. He's practiced throughout the week. He will play. The only question remaining is, will he start? Because that's really what we're looking at. You know, I made comments about Jaylen Warren not getting a lot of carries. I know he got injured. I didn't forget, but there were opportunities prior to that where Gainwell was out in that game taking snaps away from Jaylen Warren. He did practice today in a limited fashion. He's got the ankle injury. Expect to see him in action against Chicago. Who knows how limited of a capacity that's going to be. Cole Holcomb still dealing with this mysterious illness. He was a full participant today. Expect to see him on the field on Sunday. Alex Highsmith was a limited participant today with a pec injury. Same with Isaac Seumalo, also with a pec injury. Who knows? These guys don't play hurt, either one of them. So the fact that they practiced is anything but a guarantee that you're going to see them out there on the field on Sunday. But I'm sure a lot of Steeler fans hoping that Highsmith isn't out there and Herbig is, because Herbig has looked pretty good. They talk about him being undersized and not a good tackler, and every time he goes out there, he performs well. So we'll see what happens there. And boy, hopefully Seumalo can play. I mean, they might need 9 linemen against the Chicago Bears. So we don't want to go too deep on that depth chart. Jonnu Smith must have had a rough Sunday. Those 0 catches for 0 yards. He got Veterans Day today. Well, actually, he got Veterans Day yesterday. He was a full participant today. But, he needs a day of rest. Not like he gets enough rest in the game. Got to give him some rest during the week as well. Keyshawn Williams, we know that he did not practice last week because he could not clear concussion protocol. I'm sorry, didn't play. He practiced fully today. So hopefully we'll see him back out there returning kicks and punts for the Pittsburgh Steelers. TJ Watt had Veterans Day yesterday. Once again, that one tackle must have just taken all the energy from him. So he needed a day off yesterday. He was back out as a full participant today. And Cam Hayward, we know with Cam, he gets 2 Veterans Days each week. So Veterans Day yesterday, Veterans Day today. But don't worry, he'll be out there trying to get those elusive 11 sacks that he needs to get his bonus for this year. Does he have any sacks this year?
I think he may have a few.
Okay.
But, you know,
it's going to be a huge uphill climb
right.
to get to that magic number. So, I mean, he wanted the money, and the Steelers gave him a little, I guess, teaser that,
stipend.
Hey, you might get some. Here's what you got to do. But see, when it comes time to perform, most of these Steelers, they can't cut it. They should have done the same thing with Watt. That should have been incentives based on, I don't know, maybe a game where he has multiple tackles, maybe he gets a sack here and there every once in a while. Everything they do with these old over-the-hill defensive players should be incentive-based from this point on, because chances are good they'll never reach it, whatever it is. You could have told Watt, hey, you need to get 10 sacks. He'll never see 10 sacks before the end of this year. So, I mean, that's kind of where we are. So it looks like for the most part, everybody's probably going to play. And of course, we know the veterans will play over the younger players. That's how it works. It's the buddy system in Pittsburgh. Is there enough that this team can generate to defeat the Chicago Bears?
I thought about it with Rodgers out there. I think they have a better chance. The Bears have much better weapons, and they are ahead of schedule, as you mentioned, at 7-3. Caleb Williams has played well. He's a little erratic, but he throws a great ball, throws it too hard for his receivers to catch. That's been a complaint. His arm's almost too strong. And he's right in the middle there. He's not as great as Drake May, and he's not as horrid as J.J. McCarthy, who just looks awful. So, Ben Johnson's been a home run as a coach. I think the Bears with the line 2.5. I'll take the Bears by a field goal. I'll say the Bears win this game, Dave.
All right. As you know, there are 7 of us here at WMBS that make these picks each week. I share the Steeler pick with you. For the rest of them, you can go on to Facebook tomorrow, and all will be revealed. So you'll see everybody's pick for everyone's game. There are buys this week. I think there's, 15 games or something, 14 games or so. So we will have them all on there. But I will reveal the picks for the Steeler game. Brian Morozak took the Steelers. He never takes the Steelers.
What?
Brian takes the Steelers this week. TJ DeStefano takes the Steelers this week. Matt Sapienza takes the Steelers this week. Ooh. Josh Kryzik Esquire takes the Steelers. Bill Madden takes the Bears. At least somebody else did it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know I'm taking the Bears. Yeah. There is nothing in this matchup that looks beneficial for the Steelers in any possible way. The Bears are younger. The Bears are faster. They're more talented. They're better coached. I mean, I could go on probably for an hour on this thing, and this game will not be close. As we know, when the Steelers win, it's usually really tight. When they lose, most of the time it's a blowout. This is going to be a blowout. The Bears will embarrass the Steelers and expose them for what's to come against Buffalo and Baltimore the next 2 weeks. This will be week 1 of a 3-game losing streak. The Chicago Bears will win 35-10 when it's all said and done, and Aaron Rodgers will not survive this game. It's going to be a huge mistake putting him in there.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, they should win this game. Not that they should, but they have to, because Buffalo and Baltimore are on your neck. So
they have to, because if you go in 6-6 against Baltimore, you're going under 500, and all of a sudden you're not in charge of that division anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for the first hour of the Sports Voice. A lot to come in hour 2. Don't you dare miss it. We'll be right back.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture. Take the road to your perfect home.
Franco's Golf Center is open during the winter months, Tuesday through Sunday, starting at 11 a.m., closed Monday. With 2 state-of-the-art simulators, Franco's is your destination for indoor golf. The Full Line Pro Shop is also open for your shopping convenience, with gift certificates available. The outdoor range is also open year-round, weather permitting. Call 724-438-6651 to reserve your indoor golf tee times. Franco's is located on Route 21 west of Uniontown. Stop and see them today.
Your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS Uniontown. Right now outside of our Davis & Davis studios, fog and 43 at 5 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm Cammie McCormick. President Trump is accusing 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death for urging the military to refuse illegal orders. Linda Kenyon reports.
In a video, the lawmakers, all with military or intelligence backgrounds, said the laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the president's orders are not illegal.
Every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful.
She spoke shortly before a judge ruled that the administration's deployment of the National Guard in Washington, D.C. was illegal. The lawmakers also cited as illegal orders for military airstrikes against alleged drug smuggling boats in international waters. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The White House confirmed there's a new peace plan in the works for Ukraine. Torian Small with some details.
A White House official told CBS News Special Envoy Steve Witkoff has been consulting with both Russians and Ukrainians for feedback on the proposal. A statement from President Volodymyr Zelensky's office said he expects to talk to President Trump about the key points, but he has long rejected giving up land.
The Department of Transportation's cracking down on illegal immigrant truck drivers, as Stacey Lynn reports.
The administration is threatening to withhold nearly $75 million in funding in Pennsylvania because it says the state has illegally issued commercial driver's licenses to immigrants, a claim Governor Josh Shapiro has denied. He says the federal government hasn't identified a single commercial driver's license issued there to someone who wasn't eligible.
Skylar Henry reports the latest immigration crackdown surge has wrapped up.
A Homeland Security official tells CBS News Operation Charlotte's Web in North Carolina has concluded. DHS says it's arrested more than 250 people as part of the federal immigration sweep. Internal preps have indicated agents are now planning to shift their focus to New Orleans with boots on the ground as soon as December 1st.
There was a funeral for former Vice President Dick Cheney at the National Cathedral today. CBS's Major Garrett reports.
Dick Cheney, as a political figure in Washington for decades, did something that people in this town come to admire. Find ways into power, use it to your advantage, remain loyal, and remain steadfast in your set of convictions and beliefs, even if those steadfast convictions and beliefs create tremendous controversy and momentary political downsides. All of that is true for Dick Cheney. A long life in Washington politics with many ups and downs.
On Wall Street today, stocks finish lower. The Dow off nearly 400. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Take the fact book. Caring for an aging parent or a loved one with medical needs? Fact. Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation can help. Seniors 65 and older ride free on our fixed routes. People with disabilities get discounted shared rides. And if your loved one has medical assistance, their trips to doctors or treatment are covered under the shared ride program. Give them safe, reliable independence and yourself peace of mind. Call 724-628-RIDE or visit factbus.com. Fact. Your community, your connection.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality healthcare to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top-quality care when it matters most. Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
A New York woman has record-breaking hair.
A 29-year-old woman who works at a nonprofit in New York City has set a record for the largest afro. Jessica Martinez says she stopped using relaxers at the age of 12, and since then her bountiful hairdo has blossomed to 6 feet 3 inches in circumference. It took 3 people from Guinness World Records to do the measuring. They determined she surpassed the old record of 5 feet 5 inches set 15 years ago. Jessica tells the New York Times breaking the record feels significant because it's not every day that an afro is celebrated. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News, New York.
A new Gallup poll finds about half of U.S. adults believe democracy isn't functioning very well in this country. That's a sharp drop from several decades ago when majorities thought democracy was working the way it should. Few people now believe government decisions reflect their will. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is being brought to you by Ultimate Structures, offering customized sheds, cabins, and metal buildings. Ultimate Structures is ready to design what you desire. Call today, 724-415-0020.
And it's 5:05. Good afternoon. 43 with fog outside of our Davis & Davis studios on a Thursday. I'm Nick Barczyk, Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. Injured, our team is ready to fight for you. Your local station, WMBS. The Weather Watch and sports on the way. The state budget recently signed by Governor Shapiro has increased funding for the Pennsylvania State Police by nearly $70 million to enhance community safety around the state of Pennsylvania. The budget will allow the PSP to bring in 4 new cadet classes, upgrade cybersecurity operations, and continue to provide law enforcement support to different areas around the state that are underserved. This funding is aiming to strengthen staffing, the police says, modernize technology, and support statewide public safety operations, ensuring the troopers have the necessary resources to respond effectively in communities throughout Pennsylvania. Following a unanimous vote this afternoon or this morning, the Fayette County Commissioners officially approved the formation of the Fayette County Education Authority, a new municipal authority designed to expand educational opportunities, enhance workforce development, and support long-term economic growth around Fayette County. The formation of the authority will not incur any additional costs, the commissioners say, as all legal work associated with its formation is part of the routine responsibilities of the county solicitor. The commissioners emphasize that this week's action follows extensive discussion and analysis by the Eberly Campus Transition Team at Penn State, which has been meeting regularly to assess the educational impacts of the Penn State Fayette shutdown in a few years. They note that the formation of the Education Authority is not a replacement for the departing institution, but an early step in a much longer process to protect and expand educational opportunities in Fayette. First-time filings for unemployment are dropping around Pennsylvania. The U.S. Labor Department says for the week ending November 15th, there were over 10,500 first-time claims in the state. The number is more than 700 less compared to the week before. Nationally, the number of initial filings dropped for the week. A person was injured after a bus went over a hillside in Fayette County this morning. Dispatchers say the Uniontown School District bus crashed on National Pike in Morton Township this Thursday morning. Officials confirm no children were on the bus at the time of the accident, but one person reportedly suffered a minor injury. No other information available as of this evening. Amazon Prime Video, which has Thursday night football games, is rolling out a new feature powered by artificial intelligence, our good friend AI.
The tool known as Video Recaps uses generative AI to recall a show's most important plot points, then creates a visual summary for the viewer. Each recap has synchronized narration, dialogue, and music. A beta feature is available on select Prime original shows. Additional support for the feature is set to come in the later months. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Sports and weather next on WMBS.
Hey everyone, this is Josh Krysak here letting you know that it's not too late to purchase a shed, carport, or building due to the cold weather that's upon us. Ron from Ultimate Structures will explain.
Here at Ultimate Structures, we go full-time, year-round to service our customers. Don't let the cold weather discourage you from purchasing the storage building for your needs. Our manufacturers and installation crews keep chugging through the cold weather. There may be minor delays due to snow and ice, but you can be assured every attempt will be made to get your building up and ready to protect your valuables.
That is great news to hear, Ron. Our listeners can still purchase a shed, carport, garage, or building to fit their needs.
Customers can call me anytime to discuss their needs at 724-557-3281. That's 724-557-3281. We can sit down and design what you desire. Come out to our mega lot to view models to fulfill your dreams. We are Ultimate Structures, satisfying Fayette County customers since 2007.
In sports, Aaron Rodgers at practice this afternoon, looking like he'll start a quarterback for the Steelers after he injured himself Sunday. Steelers and the Bears, Pittsburgh 6-4, Chicago 7-3. That game in Illinois Sunday at 1 on WMBS. Pitt football takes on Georgia Tech on Saturday. This evening we'll bring you Pitt basketball against Central Florida in Orlando. Pregame at 6:30, game at 7. After that, we'll join the NFL game, Bills-Texans, at about 9 this evening on WMBS. We'll bring you the Penguins as they host Minnesota Friday at 6 and Saturday at 6 against Seattle on WMBS.
The local district and statewide news was brought to you by Ultimate Structures, just outside of Perryopolis on Route 51 southbound. Call them today at 724-415-0020 to find the shed, cabin, or metal building that meets your needs.
This weather report being brought to you by Montgomery Medical. Trust their 50 years of combined experience for the best results in primary care, newborns to elderly, minor illness or injury, as well as wellness and physical exams. And now the weather.
Foggy Thursday this week before Thanksgiving, the 20th of November, 43 right now. Overnight low at 40, 54 with rain Friday, clouds and sun Saturday at 50, low 36, Sunday sun 53 and 59 with sun on Monday. Right now fog at 43 degrees at 5:10 on a Thursday. Good afternoon, I'm Nick Barczyk. Stock report, then the second hour of the Sports Voice with Dave Dunaway next on WMBS.
This weather report was brought to you by Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine. Same-day appointments available for acute care. Call 724-569-8100 or visit montibed.com to schedule your appointment.
Good evening, this is Janine Herron of Janney Montgomery Scott here in Uniontown, bringing you to today's closing stock market report. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 386.5 points, closing at 45,752. The Nasdaq Composite was down 486.2 points, closing at 22,078, and the S&P 500 Index was down 103.4 points, closing at 6,539. Among companies of local interest, Apple closed at 266.25, down 231. Amazon 217.14, down 5.55. Cisco 75.44, down 295. Boeing closed at 179.46, down 624. Caterpillar 546.24, down 687. Disney closed at 102.68, down $1.99. ExxonMobil 117.02, down 33 cents. First Energy 46.58, up 34 cents. Johnson & Johnson 203.08, up 57 cents. Home Depot closed at 332.59, down $1.91. Intel, 33.62, down $1.49. McDonald's closed at $304.17, up $1.43. Meta Platforms, 589.22, down $1.10. PNC Financial Services, 183.52, up 55 cents. Raytheon Technologies, 172.77, down $1. Rockwell Automation, 368.77, down $3.71. Tesla, 395.05, down $8.94. Verizon, 40.77, down 42 cents. And Walmart closed at 107.16, up 6.55. Recapping, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 386.5 points, closing at 45,752. The Nasdaq Composite was down 486.2 points, closing at 22,078. And the S&P 500 Index was down 103.4 points, closing at 6,539. From the Uniontown office of Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC, where we serve all of your investment needs, this is Janine Herron.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you. One of the most incredible architectural masterpieces in the United States is right here in Fayette County. And this fall is your chance to see the work being done to preserve this national treasure as work continues to fortify Frank Lloyd Wright's Fallingwater, a world-famous work of architecture that's on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Falling Water invites you to Fayette County Appreciation Day on Sunday, November 23rd to see their multi-year historic preservation effort in action, in addition to the always breathtaking home itself. Falling Water is offering free tours for Fayette County residents on Sunday, November 23rd. Book your free tour of Falling Water in advance by calling 724-329-8501. Falling Water's Preservation in Action tours will take place between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Be sure to make your reservation in advance and don't miss your chance to witness this once-in-a-lifetime preservation tour of Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water. A Best in Fayette winner for tires and automotive service, Tireman's Auto Garage has the cheapest prices in town on new and used tires. They are also top automotive specialists for any car, any repair, offering diagnostic service, alignments, oil changes, state inspections, batteries, brakes and rotors, and more. The holidays are coming. That means cold weather and snow. Be ready. Be safe with new tires from Tireman's Auto Garage, where you'll find the lowest prices in town. Plus, ACIMA and Snap leasing available. If you've been past Tireman's recently, you've seen golf carts on the roof. Tireman's has a variety of 2, 4, and 6-seater golf carts, gas or electric, available for purchase with financing available. Interested in renting a golf cart? Call 724-425-9606 and ask about rentals. Or stop in and see Kim or Joe at Tireman's Auto Garage on Mill Street in Uniontown. Happy holidays from Kim and Joe at Tireman's Auto Garage, a Best in Fayette place for tires and auto service.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Your local station, 590 WMBS. I hear voices in my head.
Welcome to part 2 of the Sports Voice. Ahead on this hour, we're going to start baseball. Yeah, baseball in November. How about that? I feel like I have to address this Pirate thing because it annoys me to no end. And the love they're getting from the local hacks in the media annoys me to no end as well. So we'll start talking a little baseball. We're getting close to free agency time. Trade season already happening. An interesting trade between the Angels and the Orioles the other day. So we'll look a little bit at baseball. We're going to talk NHL, talk Penguins. They haven't played for a while. A couple of games over the weekend in Sweden against Nashville. 1 loss, 1 win. Still trying to figure out this overtime shootout stuff, but they're getting better. The power play looks better. 5-on-5, they look better. The defensive scheme looks 1,000 times better than what happened last year. So we'll look at where the Penguins are. We got to see the debut of goaltender Sergei Murashov. That is the future of this franchise. So a lot to sort of talk about when we get to the Penguins. We'll talk college football, Pitt, Notre Dame. Probably not what a lot of the locals were hoping. Notre Dame easily handling Pitt. No surprise to me. They're head and shoulders better at literally every aspect of football than Pitt is, which really then starts to make you wonder, this freshman quarterback, this Heinschel, is he going to stick around? You sort of know how it's going to end. It's like watching the Steelers. You know how it ends before it starts. Could he get a better offer from somewhere else, and does he take it if that's the case? We're getting close. Penn State's got to hire a coach. I'm telling you, next week, they've got to hire a coach. The recruiting season starts at the beginning of December. You got to have somebody in place or you're going to lose everyone you have. Nobody's going to commit if you don't know who the head coach is. We'll talk about some of the candidates that are out there and the potential that one of them could be the next head coach at Penn State. Great story for Terry Smith. Don't think it's going to be him. I don't think it can be him. If you're looking to move on and you want someone better than James Franklin, Terry Smith just isn't that guy. James Franklin got hired in Virginia Tech. No surprise to me. That's the area he recruits from anyways. And it's the ACC, so he doesn't have to worry about a big game. That might be the prime place for James Franklin to end up. We'll talk NFL Week 12. A lot of games on the docket. Our picks have all been made here at WMBS. Nick and I share our picks on TV, so we'll make sure that we go through the rest of them. We've already done the Steeler-Bears game. Nick and I both taking the Chicago Bears, along with Bill Madden. Everyone else here decided to take the Pittsburgh Steelers. A couple of program updates for the show before we get started here for the second hour. So obviously next Thursday is Thanksgiving. WMBS will be broadcasting football all day, as it should. That's what Thanksgiving's all about, right? It's not turkey and pilgrims and anything like that. It's all about football. So there will not be a Sports Voice aired on Thursday. However, I am going to do a show next Monday. Now, this isn't ideal. We're not going to really be able to do a whole lot as far as picking for the week because there's still going to be one game left for this week when I'm still on the air. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to call it in from 4 to 5. So just be a half a show, 1 hour show. I'm assuming Nick will be here with me, and we will pick the Steeler game on air, but we won't have anybody else's picks, nor will we have any of the rest of our picks. We will still upload picks to Facebook just like we do every week. I will make sure I have my picks in Wednesday. I assume the picks will get uploaded on Wednesday because there are games on Thursday. So they will be there. Just check WMBS Facebook this upcoming Wednesday, and you will get our picks. And I will plug that again when I'm on the air on Monday. So just to repeat, there will be a live Sports Voice next week, but it will be on Monday from around 4:15 to 5 o'clock. Recap the Steelers-Bears game, pick the Steelers-Bills game, and anything else major that happens, we'll make sure that we cover just like every other week. I'm going to start hour 2 talking about your Pittsburgh Pirates because this is probably the most ridiculous story of the week. And if no one else is going to address it, then I'm going to address it. So the Pirates almost signed a free agent, and everyone is super excited. This is like David Price all over again. We're super excited. They, according to them, offered $80 million to Josh Naylor of the Seattle Mariners, but Naylor decided instead to take the better offer from Seattle and stay in Seattle. First of all, let me just point out the obvious. If for 1 second the Pirates thought Josh Naylor was going to take this offer, they would have never made it. They have no intention whatsoever to pay $80 million for anybody, let alone a guy like this. It's just not going to happen. So if you want to sit there and you want to get excited and you want to talk to your buddies about how they're going to sign Kyle Schwarber in 2 weeks, you go ahead and do that. But when the season starts, there will be no big-time free agent on this team. Ben Cherington hasn't signed a good free agent in 6 years. Do you really think he's going to go all out with big-time money and sign one? Guaranteed, he heard through the grapevine Seattle was going to match. If Seattle gave Naylor $90 million, why didn't the Pirates just match that and say, hey, we'll give you 92, make a decision? Or we'll give you 100. I mean, where's this money going to go? Who's it going to get spent on by the time it's all said and done anyways? Why not say, hey, if we're all in on this guy, we're going to do whatever it takes. We'll overpay to bring him in. They're not going to overpay. They had no intention of paying $80 million. They knew before they offered he was going to turn it down. That's why they offered it. The love that they're getting is absurd. I'm sick of seeing it. I'm sick of hearing about it. The reality is this is the cheapest team in professional sports, and if they had $80 million to give Josh Naylor, let's see if they give that $80 million to somebody else. Guaranteed they will not. Nick, there's no big-time free agent coming to Pittsburgh. Am I right?
You're right, Dave. I mean, the evidence is there that they have no intention of signing anyone of note, and they're not going to give Skeens what he wants. And yeah, this was a predictable story. And then the Schwarber news, I heard that. They have no chance of signing Kyle Schwarber. None. Zero. But beat 'em Bucks, and I'll go down and root for them. They're the closest baseball team to my house.
Kyle Schwarber, whatever he gets, is going to be more than the entire Pittsburgh Pirate payroll.
Absolutely.
Remember, who was it? They were Manny Machado.
Yeah.
Manny Machado was a free agent, and people were talking about, why wouldn't the Pirates just bring in Manny Machado? And the comment was made from the organization, oh, the other players will resent him because he's going to make more than all of them combined if we sign him. Really? That's your rationale for not going out and signing a legitimate impact player?
That's funny.
I don't know if Naylor's a legit impact player. Schwarber is.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's not a chance. There's no Bo Bichette. There's no Pete Alonso. There's no any of those guys that are coming to the Pittsburgh Pirates. It just isn't happening because they're not going to lay out the money they need. They're talking about maybe we'll spend an extra $30 million. What do you think that's going to get you? That's going to get you Tommy Pham and Andrew McCutchen again. That's what that's going to get you. You're not going to take $30 million and bring in anyone of worth. And if you don't bring in anyone of worth, how happy do you think Paul Skeens is going to be this year? Because he wasn't happy last year. He said how many times, I don't think we did enough as an organization to bring talent onto this team. This is a guy 2 years in the league, started 2 All-Star games, was Rookie of the Year, and a Cy Young winner. What are you going to give him when it's time? Are you going to give him arbitration money? Because it's probably not going to be $30 million. It's probably going to be $50 million the first time, and then more and more, because this is the best pitcher in all of baseball. And Major League Baseball can't stand the Pirates anyways. There is no way they're going to cater to them and say, okay, well, yeah, you just, do you think the arbitrator is going to say, yeah, Paul Skeens is asking for $70 million. He's got all these accolades, but we're going to side with the Pirates because we don't think he's earned or deserved that yet at this point in his career. Come on. This guy's just biding his time, waiting to get a real contract from a real team, and he's stuck here for 7 years through arbitration unless the Pirates just finally have had enough and said, yeah, we're not even giving him this. We're just going to trade him. Who cares what we get back in return? We'll get a bunch of cheap guys back that we don't have to worry about going to arbitration with. That's what we'll bring back for this team. Absolutely ridiculous. I can believe the local media is doing this, but there should be no praise whatsoever for the Pirates. You want me to give praise to that team? Actually go out and sign somebody. Actually take that $80 million and bring in an impact player, but it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get all excited because you almost signed somebody. Not the first time that's happened in the history of this franchise. I'm not going to get all excited because you offered the most ever offered by the team when you knew the other team was going to offer more. I'm not getting excited about that either. Ridiculous that anybody should be excited about this or praise this. There's nobody of worth coming to this team. And you look at the moves that were made this week. Oh, yeah, they DFA'd Canario, Ronnie Simon. Those were all waiver claims.
Holderman
was, a trade that they made with the Mets. Moretta was, I don't know, was that a waiver claim? Probably.
Who cares?
I mean, these are the guys that you get rid of. And then you see people go, oh, they should have kept Moretta. Moretta was waived at one point last year and claimed by nobody. Went back to Indianapolis. Tell me why they should have kept him. Because he makes $ signals with his hand when he goes out on the mound and gives up about 8 runs. Is that a reason to keep this guy around?
It's fun.
Holderman, the sidearm. Oh, this guy's great. He's the setup guy. They tried him as a closer. He was horrendous. Canario went a month without getting a hit, but he stayed on the roster the whole time. And Ronnie Simon's been on 3 teams in 2 years. So there's nothing that was lost there. They also released Cam DuVernay. That's a good trade acquisition. That was the 28-year-old rookie they got from Kansas City for Adam Frazier. So he's going to Japan to play. And the reason they did all of this is because they had to protect guys from the Rule 5 draft because they would have been eligible to go to other teams. I could only imagine the teams that are sitting there saying, you know who we want? We want Jack Brannigan, the 25-year-old who hasn't made it above AA. Or Tyler Semengo. Now, Esmeralyn Valdez, that's a different story. Antoine Kelly, there's maybe some potential there. Brandon Bedois, they love him. He throws 100. What do you go, a month without giving up a run? Yeah. So I get some of that. Esmeralyn Valdez, if you're going to keep him around, put him on the roster. He's got power. He can actually play outfield, unlike one other guy that you think has power that can't play any position on the field, who we know will be the honorary DH this year because they won't move on from him, even though at 26 years old, if O'Neal Cruz was going to learn how to play baseball, you'd think he'd know how to play it by now. Valdez should be out there starting, probably in right field. Maybe center, who knows, because Reynolds only wants to play certain places. But he should be out there. He should make the team opening day, and he should be out there. And honestly, Nick, you know who else should make the team opening day? Connor Griffin. Yeah. I don't care if he's 19 or 99. He deserves it. He's better than what they have there. And I know they don't want to put him there at 19 because then the clock starts ticking, which means at 26, that's when he can go to. Who cares? You're not going to sign him anyways. You're not going to sign Skeens anyways. You're not going to sign any of these guys. Anybody that you bring up to this team and they perform and they do well, they've got no chance to be on this team long term. So who cares how old they are when you bring them up? Bring him up, give a little bit of talent to Paul Skeens for maybe the last year he has in a Pirate uniform.
I don't know about 19, but 9 to 99, those are the ages of their fans that go down to the
That's
games.
the fan base right there.
The
yes.
kids and the old people and
it's
me.
9 and under.
Yeah.
And then 99 and over.
So it's a cemetery and a preschool.
That's the fan base.
No, I mean, you have to laugh at it. And, Dave, you mentioned they won't bring any. Oh, I was going to say this. I mean, remember, I can't believe it's not butter for the Pirates. I can't believe they didn't sign a free agent.
Yeah.
I mean, you can believe it. And you said they have no one of value here. They won't bring in anyone of value. They have a jewel. They do have someone of value here, and they won't build around him. Dave, I'll say it to anyone who cares about baseball. All the other hosts, I say this too. They've had the best pitcher in baseball on the roster for a year and a half now, and they've gotten worse.
Yes.
That is an indictment. That's inexcusable. They should yank the team out of the city and out of that beautiful ballpark that I'm still foolish enough to go to, but less than I ever did last year. And I still watch and listen because I love the game and I love that team. And there are rootable guys or guys that you want to root for on this team. And I want Donnie Kelly to do well. And I don't necessarily hate Ben Cherington. I don't think he's a good GM for this team. But I do hate the ownership, and it is a shame. And they had no chance of signing Naylor, and they have even less than no chance to retain Skeens going forward or to sign Schwarber or anyone like that. Alonso, you're right. They keep showing us who they are, and eventually I think more people than ever are believing them. And you're right. The Hall last year was what? Tommy Pham, McCutchen, the mascot, and Frazier.
Andrew Haney.
Andrew Haney. It's going to be even worse going into 2026, if that's possible. Sorry, Paul Skeens and Donnie Kelly. Good luck.
Do they wait until March this year to sign a free agent, or do they try to get one in September? Or I'm sorry, in February, because they have more money. They're going to spend $30 million more this year.
That's
what he said.
It's laughable. They should have circus music down there. And again, I want them to do well. That's the frustration. I think you do as well. But it's fun to laugh at it. And you're right. I mean, just look at that lineup some of the nights that they had Skeens out there pitching. He's got to be like, I can't win with this. And he knows he won't. And that's why he's ready for the Yankees or the Dodgers or a real major league team. But Dave, the Pirates are a small market team, and they can't compete. They can't sign big name free agents. That's all we ever hear, right?
Right.
But other small market teams, weren't the Brewers the 1 seed in the National League?
Listen, you don't have to go out and get Alonso and Bichette. The Detroit Tigers had Tarek Skubal.
Yeah.
And what did they do to help him? They went and got Gleyber Torres. They got Baez. The Pirates could have got those guys.
Made the playoffs.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to spend that extra money.
Made the
Those
playoffs.
weren't big-time free agents, but they helped that team.
And went toe-to-toe with a good Seattle team, a team that if the Pirates had to play would blow them out. Seattle's not a big market. Toronto, I guess it's Canada's team, but that's not an American market. They came within a pitch of the World Series. So I'm not asking for you to spend like the Dodgers or the Yankees. You're not capable of that, but try.
Go get a few pieces that can help you win.
The Rays have been to 2 World Series in my lifetime. The Pirates haven't. It's just endlessly frustrating, Dave.
It's a shit. Like, I really do like Paul Skeens. When he's pitching, I try to watch. I try to like stare as long as I can where my vision starts to blur, and I can imagine him with a blue and white uniform on. So I do really like him because I'm thinking about what's coming next for Paul Skeens.
Well, I lock it into my head when I'm watching him that, wow, he's the best pitcher in baseball on my favorite team, and I'm alive to see it. But he's not going to win anything here.
Right.
So that's where my mind is. Your mind has him in
Well, he's
Dodger
picking
blue.
up accolades. All-Star starter 2 years in a row.
Right.
Cy Young, Rookie of the Year.
He's the best pitcher in
He's
baseball.
the best pitcher in baseball and the worst franchise in American sports. That's what he is right now.
They're up there. They're
it's
up
an
there.
absolute shame that they had the first pick that year, and this guy had to be saddled with this organization for, I don't think it's going to be much longer. The Pirates, I think in their mind are thinking that first year of arbitration is going to be 25 to 30 million. When they see that figure that's going to come back, that astronomical number, they're going to try to move him as soon as he hits arbitration the first time.
Immediately.
And if there's a strike in 27, now what'll help them is if there's a salary cap. Because if they strike in 27, come back in 28 with a salary cap, a lot of teams won't have the money under the cap to be able to buy Paul Skeens. The Pirates will be forced to spend. They might actually keep him because there's nobody else to spend money on, and they're going to have to hit this floor of this cap.
And they're going to strike in 27, which is a shame. Baseball's on a heater, if you will. I think it's done really well the last few years, but I think there will be a strike. And you're right. Before they can draw another breath, they will try to move him. And I disagree with that last one. I'm glad he was a Pirate. I'm glad we got to experience it. It's been a joy to watch him. But you're right. In a weird, twisted way, for him personally, it's a shame the Pirates had that pick that year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when they had it the first time, they picked Henry Davis. So that should tell you how well they normally do.
Wasn't Daniel Moskowitz the number 1 overall pick?
Not a number 1 overall.
Oh,
The last number 1 overall was Garrett Cole.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good one.
He was Skeens light, not Skeens.
He got even
good.
better when he left.
Of course, they all do.
Yeah,
Who doesn't?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what happens. But yeah, no, Moskowitz was he was top 5, I think.
He was top 5. They've had some doozies, Dave. It's hard to keep
they've
up.
They've had a history of choosing poorly in the Major League Baseball draft. So, yeah, I mean, you look and you say, okay, well, hey, Griffin's there and Valdez is there, and if Reynolds figures it out and Nick Gonzalez, you could go around and you could piece some guys with hope. But really, at this point, that's all it is. And you're like, well, okay, you got Skeens. If they keep Keller, they're still talking about trading him.
Yeah.
You get Chandler. You start throwing these names out there.
Yeah, Bubba.
Yeah, you got Bubba. So you've got hope.
He's the next Skeens. They're already selling us that line of BS. He's the next Skeens. A, no, he's not. And B, why don't we capitalize on the current Skeens?
Right. And then when they have Chandler, they'll be selling Hernandez.
Exactly.
So he'll be, 20 whatever at that point. So that'll be the next one that comes up. That's all they do. They sell a future that never comes because the present is so bad and the recent past is horrific.
Exactly.
And they try to get people to forget about it, but in the end, it's hard to forget how bad this is. And Skeens has helped that because he's so good on a team that's so bad, which, like you said, is an abomination for Major League Baseball.
Well, if they wanted you to forget about the recent past, they wouldn't have brought back McCutchen. But besides for Skeens, he's the only...
No. McCutchen was there in 13, 14, 15. Those were their glory years.
Well, that's true, but I'm saying if they want people to move on from that, I mean, eventually
they
have to
don't.
move on from
They'd bring any of those guys back from those years.
I know
Can you
what you're
imagine how
saying.
cheap they would be in their 40s?
That's right. And he's the only reason, on the night Skeens doesn't pitch, the casual fans, he's the only reason they go down to see McCutchen. Glory days.
That's it.
I get what you're saying now.
That's all it is. There was no glory days from 15 to 25.
That's
so
true.
That's what you're left with if you're a Pirate fan. So in the end, they've got the 40-man roster pretty much solidified. They've got some people they can cut whenever they go and sign their big-time free agents. So we'll hold our breath and wait for that to happen. But the winter meetings are what? They're the week after Thanksgiving. So, so a couple of weeks. We'll see. That's where it all starts. Interesting trade, Royals and Angels, Taylor Ward, Grayson Rodriguez.
Saw that.
Yeah, that was, to me, thought Baltimore needed the pitching more than they needed the hitting, but everyone pretty much agrees that's a trade that helps both teams. So
it does.
We'll wait and see on that one. The Pirates were rumored to get Taylor Ward at the trade deadline. That never happened. I'm sure. I can only imagine. Who do you think they offered for him? I'm sure it was Sawinski.
I don't know, but I know
he's still on the roster. They cut all these other guys, but Sawinski's still there.
The Dodgers have a sight set on a three-peat, but they have to get past the Pirates in the regular season and playoffs. Excuse me.
Oh, I know.
So yeah.
If one guy could will a team to the playoffs, it would probably be Paul Skeens, but there's no one around him that can hit the ball.
No.
So in the end, you actually have to make contact. Maybe they'll all get those torpedo bats next year, and it'll be a bigger. You might knock people over when they're swinging and missing.
That would be
with
awesome.
all the air generated from that. So there you go. There's your baseball talk in November. I doubt we'll get to anything on Monday in an hour. So unless they almost sign somebody else over the weekend.
Who do you think they'll almost sign this weekend?
Schwarber.
Yeah.
Because whatever they give him, whoever signs him, Philly, they'll come in and say they were about $10 million under it.
Next to the Team Hall of Fame at PNC, they should have plaques of all the guys they almost signed over the years.
Oh, that'd be
David Price, Kyle Schwarber, Naylor. That'd be great. I'd take
Ian
pictures
Happ.
with that. Ian Happ.
There's a whole list of guys.
Mount
you can
Lebanon's
put on there.
own. Yeah.
Which once again, how do you not have him? That's the year they drafted Cole Tucker. So yeah, there's really good stuff that happened. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Tucker. It was Kevin Newman. Same guy.
But Tucker's married to a famous person, so that's cool for him.
Yes. No, it was Kevin Newman. Same guy, same position, just different name.
Yeah.
All right, let's switch over to hockey just very quickly. Not a whole lot to say because the Penguins haven't played in a while. I was happy with the series against Nashville. I would have liked a better outcome in that first game. Once again, the Penguins have to figure out what comes next after the regulation time ends. But in the end, a 2-1 loss, but a 4-0 win in the second one. Sergei Murashov shutout. That's what we want to see from that guy. The debut against the Kings was okay. They had the lead. He gave up some softer goals later on, but this guy is the future. You could tell in 2 games. I'm looking at him. I'm like, he looks about as cool and confident as can be in that net, where Jari's very erratic and all over the place. Jari's still injured. We haven't seen anything saying that he's going to be activated anytime soon. The Penguins are still in third place, tied with the Islanders in the Metro, but they've played less games than everyone at this point because of the layoff to get to and from Sweden. They've got back-to-back home games Friday and Saturday against Minnesota and Seattle. Those are two beatable opponents. They've been working on the shootout. They've been working on overtime. The power play looks good. The defense isn't pinching in on every play. I like what I'm seeing out of the goaltenders. Carlson looks like an MVP candidate. Crosby's amazing. Malkin's look good. Anthony Mantha's been a surprise. Ben Kindle looks fantastic as a rookie on this team. Still waiting around to see what's going on with Harrison Brunick. He's been scratched the last several games. Still there, though. That's got to be a good sign. Guys coming up from Wilkes, not really the guys I wanted to see. I don't want to see Heinen and Koponen, and they're not doing anything, which is no surprise to me. Tomasino was placed on waivers this week. So there are some changes that are starting to happen with this Penguin team, still dealing quite a bit with the injuries. But there are guys that I like that they brought in. I like this Wotherspoon. I like what we're seeing. I like Dan Muse a lot. At first, I was nervous because I said, they're going to win too many games. They're not going to have a shot at getting good young players. I think they have more good young players than we originally thought in the system already. This is a team I think that is moving forward. They're 10-5-4. I like what I'm seeing at this point. It's nice to see a breath of fresh air, a change of scenery with the coaching staff. To me, I don't know. I still don't know what I want by the end of the year. But if this is Malkin's last year, he says he wants to play 2 more and he won't play anywhere but Pittsburgh. So you can read between those lines. Letang has looked really bad, I think. Maybe the worst of all of them early this season. Crosby still looks like he's in his 20s. I want to see a playoff run. I really, really do.
Oh, you do
I
now.
just don't know if they're capable of it. Well, yeah, because the younger players are impressing me. I was worried they didn't have enough good young players. They needed to somehow get them. Maybe they have them. Maybe it's okay for them to win because they've got what it takes in the future to start to build something from within. I was really hard on Cal Dubas. Maybe they're in better shape than I thought they were. So, yeah, that's my hope. A couple looks at Murashov, and I'm excited already.
Absolutely. You should be. I like what I see as well. And the Sweden trip, Nashville's really bad now, right? So, I mean, you can't read too much into that. But, yeah, I mean, you have some home games coming up Friday and Saturday. You're right. Sid looks amazing. The young goalie looks good. Coach Muse looks like an upgrade over the old stubborn Sullivan. So, yeah, good for the Penguins.
Yeah, so far so good. Still waiting. Of course, Raquel's going to be out for a while. Hallander's going to be out for a while. Brazo, waiting to get him back. Want to see all those skyscrapers on the same line together. So, so far so good. I've liked what I've seen. There's physicality to this team. There's stick handling. There's goal scoring ability. It's old school hockey at its finest. And I wish Sullivan would have realized a few years ago, you got to play old school hockey to win with this team. At least Dan Muse has figured it out.
You're going to some games coming up. I know you're a fan and they're home.
I haven't. No, actually, I haven't been to any this year. I was only at a couple last year, so I don't have anything on the horizon planned. But I'm going to have to make a trip down there at some point.
You're not there with the horn? I thought you were the guy with the horn.
No,
Let's go Penn's horn.
No, I was going to try to take the tambourine from the iceberg mascot and just start going to random places and banging it. But I figured security would probably come and tackle me if I tried to do that. I watched that. Is that Liberty Mutual with the emu, where the dude gets tackled out there on the football field?
Well, I know you and Brian like to go and heckle opposing goalies, especially when the opposing goalie is Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yes, but he's retired now, so don't really have anyone to go heckle.
For now, he'll come back, right?
Well, Brian likes to go cheer opposing goalies when Matt Murray is on the other side.
Oh, that's true. Too. And then Binghamton, is that his name for the Blues?
Oh, Jordan Binnington.
Like
he's
him.
one of my. I do like him. He's a piece of work, but he's entertaining. Hockey needs more entertaining characters.
Yes, sports in general, but hockey, yes.
Yes, they need something to generate interest for the sport. Well, I know you were there last week, so you can maybe give us some on-field analysis of this. I know Narduzzi started making the excuses last Tuesday, so we knew there was really no chance for Pitt to win, but did it surprise you at all how badly lopsided this game was against an Notre Dame played 2 ranked teams prior to Pitt and lost to both of them. Actually, they played 3. They beat 1. They beat USC. But were you surprised how lopsided this was?
First of all, did you see us, the WMBS gang at game day? We were holding up signs. We were cheering.
No, I figured you were going to have a mascot head or something on. I was looking for it. But
I had the Panther head on, but it was star-studded. Amazingly, we weren't the biggest celebrities there. Tony Dorsett, Jerome Bettis, all the great running backs.
Aaron
Pitt,
Donald.
Notre Dame history. Aaron Donald, obviously. I think Joe Montana might have been there. It was a very good day. But yeah, no, Notre Dame's a better program with a better coach, better athletes, better quarterback. The result is as expected. Once the pick 6 happened, it was all downhill. Notre Dame, a rightful winner. But it doesn't matter anyway, says Coach Pat.
Doesn't matter. So Pitt plays Georgia Tech. That's one of the games he said mattered.
Yes.
Can we expect a different scenario to take place this week in Georgia, of all places?
They're on the
against
road.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech's ranked. They're on the road. I don't know much about Georgia Tech football in 2025 or ever, but no, it wouldn't shock me if Pitt lost the last 2 because, well, they should be up for it because the coach was up for these 2 games. Wasn't up for the last one, but...
Right. Well, if there's anyone used to losing, especially at the end of the season, normally it's Pitt. So,
well, after those comments, shouldn't that stadium be empty for the Miami game? Because for a coach to say any game doesn't matter is just, I think, ridiculous.
Especially one of the most important games, at least in recent time, because you had game day there, you had a sold-out place. I know most of them were there to see Notre Dame, but still, you had the national spotlight shining on you, and your coach comes out and says, yeah, it doesn't matter. This game doesn't mean anything.
I know what he was trying to do, but it came off poorly. Not maybe the dumbest comment a Pennsylvania college coach made this week with Terry Smith as well.
That is true.
But yeah, I mean, Coach Pat, it is what it is. But yeah, they'll probably split these next 2, I think. They beat Florida State on the road this year. They're capable.
Some other big games this past week. I think Texas showed that it wasn't a fluke at the beginning of the year. Arch Manning really isn't that good.
Yeah.
Georgia was impressive.
Yeah, Gunner and Georgia.
I was impressed by Georgia. Gunner Stockton, I did not think much of him. Now I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very impressed. And Alabama loses.
Yeah, who are these good college quarterbacks? I guess Moore for Oregon. I guess he may be the best one.
Yeah, well, Ty Simpson from Alabama.
Simpson for Alabama. A lot of people who study the draft say he's not an NFL
Listen,
prospect.
I'll give him credit. I know it was a debacle early on, but Marcel Reed brought Texas A&M back in that game. I mean, it should have never come down to what it came down to, but I will give him credit for that.
Yeah. Yeah, Sellers is all right. Nussmeier's been a bust, I think. Haven't watched a lot of LSU.
I assume Sayan and Mendoza. Those are your guys.
Sayan has 2 NFL receivers to throw to, a great line. Ohio State's, they're going to beat Rutgers by 60 this week. They're really, really good, the Bucks.
And Fernando Mendoza coming a long way from Cal.
I forgot about him. He's the best one right now.
He's probably I would say of all the guys out there right now.
His receivers do a lot for him, but he's very good.
Yes. So,
yeah.
Any prediction in this Pitt Georgia Tech game?
I'll say Pitt loses on the road. Maybe, well, I don't know. I think they'll split these next 2. I'll say they beat Miami at home. So I think they lose to Georgia Tech.
Here's my Notre Dame question, because everybody gets mad when I talk about Notre Dame.
Yes.
So Notre Dame is 9th in the country.
Yes.
If they played in a conference and played real teams, they probably would be higher. Or would they? Or would they lose to those teams? I guess that's the question. Like, they won't join a conference, and they're playing Syracuse this week. I mean, when you play Syracuse and Boston College and Navy down the stretch, you can't imagine a scenario where you get moved up in the rankings.
Wait, Dave, isn't NBC a conference? I thought the C in NBC stood for conference.
Well, no, because
TV network.
They don't have that. They're not even on that station anymore half the time. That's not their TV station
just
anymore.
The home games.
Yeah.
When they go on the road, it's not on NBC.
Okay.
It's like it's a contract from the 50s. It's so stupid.
But in the end, I mean, does that hurt them or help them? Does it help them because it gets them ranked high, or does it hurt them because they're good enough they could beat teams in a real conference and maybe actually move up the standing? Like, I wouldn't have elevated them from 9 either for being Pitt.
No.
I mean, look at who Georgia's playing. Look at who these other teams are playing.
They're rightfully at 9. No, they have no issue. I have no issue with that, and they should join a conference. It's not Newt Rockne anymore. I mean, I hate to dump on them. They were in the championship last year, but yeah, join a conference and I'll feel bad for you. I mean,
I just think it hurts them more than it helps them at this point. They could be, they have talent. They could be a top 5 team if they played other top 5 schools, but they don't because they're not in a conference.
Carr, Love. I love their running game with Love. They're a fun program.
I mean, they could join the ACC. They wouldn't have to worry about playing top 5 schools.
He could go anywhere he wants. He could get an NFL job, but I think he likes Notre Dame.
I like Freeman. I'd love to see him come to Penn State.
He won't, but yeah.
So Virginia Tech hired James Franklin. Penn State, hardline, Brian Daboll. I like Cliff Kingsbury. There's a name nobody's saying. I would love him at Penn State.
Yes,
but
Daboll
I would take one of
great.
those guys. Daboll would be great, and his son's the equipment manager or
Yes.
something up there.
Now, hardline has no head coaching experience.
I don't
Is
care.
that-
I
Penn
don't
State's
care.
a big job, Dave.
It's a big job, but he's the offensive coordinator on the best team in football for the last 5 years or so.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Penn State needs an infusion of offense, and more so than anything else, I want him to bring some talent with him when he comes. I'd love some of those guys they don't
Yeah.
use at receiver and running back would still be better than whatever Penn State's going to recruit. I would bring them. But hey, the first week of December is recruiting. I mean, they have to have a coach.
Over Daboll
Within the
at
next week, they
Kingsbury?
have to have a coach.
I mean, Daboll I would like.
I like
think he's-
Daboll.
Yeah.
I'm fine with any of those three. Those are the three guys I'd want.
Yeah, I'd like a former head coach. I mean, that is a big boy job. Not that Heartline can do it, but we'll see.
Well, they got to get somebody up there because
Yeah.
the recruits are going to start.
Yeah.
So
you're
you'll
right.
lose everyone if you don't have a name coach in there at some
Yeah.
point. So I heard over the weekend, over Thanksgiving weekend, I heard is when they're going to make that
that's
decision.
coming
so
up.
we'll see what happens. All right, we're going to take our final break of the show. When we come back, Nick and I will make our Week 12 NFL picks of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Pizza Kings in Connellsville is your go-to lunch and dinner spot with a full menu of mouth-watering pizzas and so much more. Using a deck oven helps our pizzas stay extra crisp. So if you haven't tried a slice lately, what are you waiting for? From our 50-slice King Carnivore to veggie pizzas and even pickle pizzas, Pizza King has the pie to match your taste. Pizza Kings, 1046 Morel Avenue in Connellsville. Call 724-626-8343 or visit pizzakingswithaz.com.
Franco's Golf Center is open during the winter months, Tuesday through Sunday, starting at 11 a.m., closed Monday. With 2 state-of-the-art simulators, Franco's is your destination for indoor golf. The Full Line Pro Shop is also open for your shopping convenience with gift certificates available. The outdoor range is also open year-round, weather permitting. Call 724-438-6651 to reserve your indoor golf tee times. Franco's is located on Route 21 west of Uniontown. Stop and see them today.
If you're ready for a dental makeover or in need of basic dental care, the office of Dr. Mark Rabatin is right for you. Dr. Rabatin uses the latest advancement in the industry to achieve comprehensive care that will preserve your smile for years to come by providing general dentistry services. Call today to schedule your appointment at their modern office located in the Fayette Business Park, 724-437-4991 for the fine art of dentistry.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
You may have noticed a new internet company knocking at your door with claims like, "I'm not here to sell you anything," or "I wouldn't lie to you." The truth is, Armstrong has played an important role in your community for decades, and we're not going anywhere. That new internet provider will probably change their name, get bought out by another company, or fold completely. Armstrong, the internet you count on, the people you trust. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com today, or anytime in the future.
Welcome back to the Sports Voice. We are at the final hour, which means it's time to make our picks of the week. Just a reminder before we do that, very special airtime next week for the Sports Voice, Monday from 4:15 to 5. No show next Thursday. It's Thanksgiving, everyone. As I look at our picks of the week, there's some pretty good games this week. There's some pretty bad games this week. And we start with Thursday Night Football, which I'm assuming was assumed to be this great game when the schedule was made prior to the season. But it just hasn't worked out that way for the Texans. Davis Mills going to be in again. C.J. Stroud not playing. And Josh Allen coming off a history, 6 touchdowns last week for the Buffalo Bills, 3 on the ground, 3 through the air. Can the Bills equal that performance against Houston?
Josh Allen's a superhero, and he's coming to Pittsburgh next week. Get ready, Steeler fans. I think he'll only have 5 touchdowns this week. Bills by a lot.
Yeah, Bills are favored by 6.5. It's going to be a lot more than that. I'm taking Buffalo as well. Sunday football, Jets at Ravens. Lamar Jackson did practice this week. Ravens favored by 13.5.
Tyrod Taylor will keep it close for a while. That's a big number. Ravens win by 13, so give me the Jets.
Ooh, I'm taking the Ravens. I can't imagine a scenario where I pick the Jets. Patriots at Bengals. New England favored by 7.5.
I picked the Bengals initially for some reason. I'm regretting it. I circled Bengals, but I think New England could pull away. So
that's the team I root for, even though they're not closest to my house, and I feel like I never pick them, and I didn't pick them this week either. I'm going to take the Bengals just because of the spread.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The defense is so bad, though.
It's so bad.
So bad.
New England's defense isn't great
No,
either.
it's not.
Giants at Lions. Lions favored by 10.5. The big story from the Giants this week was Cam Skattebo, who's out with a broken leg, who was at Monday Night Raw. That's the WWE edition of TV, weekly TV, and got into an altercation with a few of the wrestlers. Even Abdul Carter was awake for that. That was nice to see. Because he was part of that too. A lot of criticism coming Skattebo's way because he's out for the year and an instrumental piece of the Giants. The Giants don't have much left. Jameis Winston was in there last week. Is 10.5 enough for the Lions?
The Lions did nothing against the Eagles. Nothing. They'll do a lot this week. Lions big, Dave.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions in this one as well. Vikings at Packers. Green Bay favored by 6.5.
The Vikings quarterback is unplayable. Give me Green Bay big.
I'm taking Green Bay as well. Well, I hope we do well this week because we're picking the same stuff. Colts at Chiefs. Kansas City favored by 3.5.
Boy, that's a good 5-5 team, the Chiefs. The weakest team in years. I think the Chiefs win by a field goal, so give me Indy.
I will. Oh.
Yeah, I'm taking Indy.
I'm going to take Kansas City in this one. They've got to. I think of the Colts against the Steelers, and Kansas City has a better defense. And if they shut down Taylor, they shut down the Colts because Jones makes mistakes all over the field. I'm going to go with Kansas City. Seattle at Tennessee, Nick's favorite team, the Seattle Seahawks, 13.5-point favorites.
Love the Seahawks, but that's a big number on the road. Tennessee's awful, but Seahawks by a dozen, so give me Tennessee.
Well, I'm taking Seattle. I'm jumping on that bandwagon, Nick. You've told me about them. I don't pick them. I lose every week. I'm taking them. Jacksonville at Arizona. Jacksonville favored by 3.5.
Yeah, no Hunter, but Arizona starting Brissett. I guess give me Jacksonville. I'm not watching this game.
I'm going to take Arizona. I'll go with Trey McBride, and Marvin Harrison might play, so I'm going to go with Arizona in this one. Browns at Raiders. Raiders favored by 4.5.
Not watching a second of this one. It shouldn't be televised. Give me the Browns.
Shedeur Sanders' first start in his NFL career. Because of that, I'm taking the Raiders.
Yeah.
Buccaneers at Rams. Sunday Night Football. The Rams favored by 7.5.
Yeah, big number. Rams will win, but give me Tampa to keep it close.
I always say the Rams rarely cover the spread. I'm taking Tampa Bay. Monday Night Football, Carolina. Now, you would have laughed at that a couple of weeks ago. Carolina, not bad.
No.
Now, they did lose to the Saints, but they're still not bad.
7.5.
No, they won. They beat the Saints.
They beat the Saints. 7.5, Dave. I'm taking Carolina.
I'm going to take the 49ers in this one. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey and going with that. So there are our picks.
Oh, Eagles, Cowboys, Falcons, Saints.
Did I miss them?
We did.
Oh, I did miss them.
I'm taking the Eagles and the Saints.
All right, I'll take the Eagles and the Saints as well then.
We got to get every game on the record.
They're all here. There's my sheet, everyone. There's what I picked. I don't know where I missed those. All right, so we missed a couple, but we got it taken care of. There are your picks of the week for Week 12 in the National Football League. We will be checking back in with you on Monday. We'll let you know how we're doing. Of course, that Monday Night Football game still will not have happened when we get back on the air, so we'll give you a little bit of a rundown. We'll make the Steeler picks, Steelers and Bills next week, but the big one this week, Steelers at Chicago, taking on the Bears. Aaron Rodgers will play, trying to continue his ownership of the Chicago Bears. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's edition of The Sports Voice. I'll talk to you next Monday, 4:15 to 5.
The winners are in for the 2025 Best in Fayette contest presented by Nemacolin. You can pick up your free 2025-26 Best in Fayette book at the WMBS Broadcast House, the Uniontown Super 8, Casey Sports Cafe, the Uniontown Shop and Save, Perry Drug, Jackson Farms Dairy Store, Armstrong in Connellsville, the Casino at Nemacolin, Bittersweet Cafe,